pleased to be joined by a couple of lovely people from the Atlantic Ballet Theatre Canada, the Centre of Arts and Education. I got it in one try, so that's awesome. We have Sammy Lovely and JB Vanier. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, thanks for having us, Mike.
So what's new at the Centre of Arts and Education? You guys got some awesome stuff coming up for the fall season.
Yeah, so this is our, I want to say, 5th year starting up at the Centre. It started in 2012. It was the education arm of the Atlantic Ballet, which was created in 2001 by Susan Chalmers-Gauvin, our CEO, and Igor Dobrovolsky. It's a mouthful every time.
That's another one.
He's the artistic director. So they started the company 16 years ago at this point, and then they started the education arm 5 years ago. And I've been there. This is my 3rd year now. And Sammy?
I'm going on 1 year next week.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Thank you. So excited.
There we go. So JB, what exactly do you do as part of this whole program?
So I teach, we have several programs. We have the after-school program, which is a arts education program. It's fully licensed as well. And we teach theater, voice, and ballet, character dance, all sorts of dancing. And then we have the evening and weekend program. That includes ballet classes for students all the way from the age of like 3.5. So like a little baby, they're very adorable, the baby ballerinas. All the way up to kids that are up to 18, and we include community members as well.
We also have adult ballet classes too, so we actually go from ages 3 straight through.
To infinite, really.
To infinite.
To infinite, whatever,
if you're
age that happens to be.
A cosmic being, please come to our ballet fit classes.
Still work, please show up.
Exactly.
So Sammy, you said it's 1 year next week. What are you doing as part of this whole program
I teach in the after-school program. I teach some of the theater and voice classes, and then I'm also our office administrator. So I
You're wearing many hats.
Handle a lot of different things that way.
Now, I know some of your background because there's a lot of dinner theater and a lot of stage performance for you. So JB, what's your background first, and then we'll get to yours in a second.
Well, I studied theater at Bishop's University in Quebec. I did that. I have 2 degrees in that in film, actually. And then I worked in Montreal for a year, just working regular gigs and then picking up work where I could as an actor. And I directed throughout my career at university. So I had a small independent company I ran as the artistic director there, and then I ran several summer camps. So then I moved to Moncton about, well, I guess 2.5 years, 3 years ago. And since then, I've continued my career here in Moncton. So I've been a director with Hub City Theatre. I've worked with Power Productions in Newfoundland. We actually just got off a tour of Fringe. We got outstanding production and stuff like that. So I continue my career, and then I am glad to work at the Centre as a teacher. And then I also direct the 2 full-scale productions that we put on every year. So that's where I was and where I am now.
Yeah. So Sammy, what's your history prior up to this point?
I studied theater at Sheridan College in Ontario, and then I did a double major in performance and production at Acadia University. And then I did the McSweeney's Dinner Theater for 5 years. I went on tour with Annika Productions, and then recently I've done some Hub City Theatre stuff. So very theater heavy.
Very theater heavy, and certainly 2 very qualified individuals.
Trying to keep ourselves busy.
Well, that's one of the cool things about our programs, though, is that every staff member is actually very fully qualified within their field. You're completely taught by professionals in all of our programs, which really separates us, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get just the education that comes with someone who trained in their field, but someone who works regularly in their field. So all the ballet classes that are taught, our dance principal, Yulia, she was a ballet dancer for like 15, 20 years, probably more, I have no idea, but many years. And then all the other teachers are actually dancers with the company. So it's not like many other schools where the older students teach the younger students. Everyone is taught by someone of at least a like fully professional caliber artist in their field.
It's pretty cool. I like watching the young ones because they don't know how professional their teachers are, and they're hilarious with them. They're just endearing. They just kind of like run around, and you get to watch like professional ballerinas chasing after a small kid, and it's adorable. It's very endearing.
As you mentioned a little bit earlier, I mean, we're talking about as young as 3.5, and up to 18 for these programs, these after-school programs, which it is around that time to enroll if you want to enroll. Go check it out. We'll say the website now. It's centarts.com. I really like that website because it sounds like candy, but it's very good stuff.
It's just as sweet, my friend. Is that a good plug line?
Very good. Proud of you.
That was good. That was
thanks.
You brought it home.
There we go.
You brought it right home is what you did. So 1:30 to 5:30 Monday to Friday. Age
K to 6.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the after-school program.
Yeah. So that's one of those, and that's one of what's available.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
The
Something
evening
for
program
everyone.
runs Monday to Saturday after the after-school program, and that's where we run our musical theater. So this year we're doing Christmas Carol. That's kind of like our big fall production, and we bring in the community and all that stuff.
And that's coming up in December, by the way, December 2nd.
Yes,
3rd.
Wesleyan Moncton Celebration Center. So
Yeah.
it's always exciting. It's a very fast 2 months with the kids for them the new students to catch up with the other students, and so we're excited for that.
Yeah.
So what else is coming up this fall? What else is available?
So for fall, we've got after school, evening weekend, and then we're working on Christmas Carol. It's more after that we're getting into spring, where we have the same programming, but we're going to be working on Peter Pan.
Yeah, so that's the spring production. And then our classes, we have the ballet classes, but we also have character dance, which is a type of dance, from Eastern Europe, Spain, Italy. They dance with like these long flowing skirts and sometimes tambourines and stuff like that. We have that at the elementary and the intermediate level, as well as contemporary dance, which of course is like it's more like exploratory. But so we offer all those different kinds of programs, and then you get your jazz dancing through the musical theater program, which you get to do pretty much infinite kinds of dance. You get just in Christmas Carol, we have like party dancing, which is folk dancing, and then you have the ballet dancers that come out, and there's like the professional company performs actually with the kids in the Christmas Carol, which is really cool because the kids get to I danced with the Atlantic Ballet Theatre of Canada when I was 3 years old.
That's something I forgot about too. It's such our company practices right in the studio down the hall from where our after school program takes place. So the kids can literally like walk down the hall to go to the washroom and watch professionals working, and it really gives them something to aspire to. Like they get to see that every day. They're just immersed in the performance arts culture, and it's cool.
I mean, sometimes it's hard to get the kids back to class. Like,
yeah,
they arrive, they wash their hands,
preening over the windows.
They're like a little tall in the windows. They're like, and I imagine if I was a dancer, I'd be like, oh, where did those eyes come from? But it's just really great to see them like so really enraptured by the dancers. It's wonderful.
Well, that kind of leads into my next question. If you're someone who's never done dance before and you really want to get involved in it, do you think it would be kind of daunting to see all of this, or do you think it's a very accepting kind of program?
I think it's really encouraging because we start at all levels. Like we have intermediate programs, but we have beginners programs as well. So I think it's really cool, and they get to work with each other on the productions. So like I feel like it's always giving the newcomers something to aspire to and work towards. And we're such an inclusive environment. That's something we're very big on. And so I really think that our more experienced dancers pull in the new ones and make them feel a part of the family and the community that we've created.
Yeah, absolutely. Like kids arrive and some of them have never done dance, some of them have never sang, and they just like to goof around in their room. Some of them have done no on-stage experience. So that's one of the cool things that we get to offer too, is that it's not just training in the room. You perform in front of paying audience to come see you, and it's not just your parents, it's like people that come to see the show, to see the ballet and stuff. So they get a chance to start from scratch all the way up to suddenly you're performing in a huge stage with lights and like full professional costumes and everything like that. And I really think that we get everyone their chance to shine when they can, and also that there's no barrier really to break down. That's one of the great things, is that everyone in our program is in the show, from the little ones 3.5 years old all the way to our community members that are sometimes they'll take on roles that are like, it's hard to get like a 5-year-old to play 60-year-old Scrooge. But
I would like to see that.
Yeah, it would be a unique take.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone gets to perform in it, and there's nothing really holding them back. Our staff, our fellow staff, Yulia, all the professional dancers, Jenny, Justin, Karen, people that have all worked with us in the past have really focused on bringing everyone up to a really like professional performance level.
When you talk to people who've done theater, who've done improv, and speaking of ballet as well, they talk about not only about the skills that you learn that are practical for that, but they also talk about the life skills that you can learn from the dancing and stuff like that. Is there some life skills that you can learn from taking ballet, even separate from the stage?
Well, actually, that's really interesting that you mentioned that, because we had some people in from the school district, and they were watching our children's dance classes, and they've actually started consulting with our company on things to put into the gym program, because it's such a good use of the body. You use every part of your body, and it teaches children at an early age how to control different muscles and to do it properly without hurting themselves. So there's so many things that can be taken from dance. Just proper use of every muscle in your body.
Our dance principal, Yulia, just last year gave a talk to the physical education teachers of New Brunswick. I'm not sure what the name of their association is, but she met with them and she had all the gym teachers doing bar work and like different positions and all that stuff, because it gets you, flexible, it gets you centered, it gives you time with yourself as well. And
she started to take it into some of the schools as well around here. So they have they do ballet in the schools with some of their kindergarten and grade 1 classes. So she goes around and we teach all of the kids the basics, and then they get to do a big presentation for their parents, which is fantastic to watch.
You wouldn't think of the fitness aspect of that as well, but that's definitely another part that can really come into it, and it's worth exploring. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Would love to talk more about it, but thank you so much, Sammy Lovely and JB Vanier from the Atlantic Ballet Theatre of Canada. Check out centarts.com.